Jams, the fun comedy sci-fi friendly podcast with twists and turns. I am Leigh Craddock, the captain and the host for the podcast. And it's time for what is now known as the annual episode for Star Wars Podcast Day by 7th February. This is the day the first Star Wars podcast, Jedi Talk, made its debut. This will be my fourth participation. And if you haven't seen the first three, I'll post it in the description down below. In previous episodes, I have discussed Maul Shadow Lord, and now it's actually happening. So I'm going to be discussing stuff from the trailer, yes, and also share some of the information that we've got. I'll also be sharing your answers for a question I asked on social media, and of course, I'll be talking about the change in management. Let's get started. The trailer is basically narrated by Maul, presumably to Devon Izara, voiced by Dylan Allen. Devon is a disillusioned Jedi Padawan who is struggling in the world of the Empire, and is likely going to be the apprentice Maul is searching for. Devon's case is a bit similar to Onsha and Isaiah in a way from the occult, which was unfairly cancelled and a complete robbery. Both girls are good people who see flaws which makes them conflicted, and they can easily be seduced to the dark side. I'm interested to see where Devon's story ends up, as she does look like a character that is going to bring something new and another perspective on the former Jedi turning into a Sith. Her master is Iko Diojaki, voiced by Dennis Hayward from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. A good show. I'm not gonna lie, the master could be in trouble based on Star Wars track records when it comes to Jedi Masters, who end up sacrificing themselves, and we all get sad about it, and it's just a very sad moment. Sam Witwer is up in the ante as Maul, and his own show between Clone Wars and Rebels is the perfect opportunity. As I have discussed on the channel last year, we're going to see more of his human side, and I'm happy we're going to see it, especially in his speech. Maul doesn't lose his military skills, as he's fighting a lot, even when he makes a metal face when he takes on Marok, which you can see in the thumbnail. Another impressive thing we'll be seeing with Sam's forms is he's going to bring a different side, as we see him talking to Devon, his future apprentice, in a tea ceremony, which we see in the trailer. The crew have praised Sam's performance, which is used from his own experience, which gives it a bit of originality, which will be the theme of the year when it comes to returning encounters. Maul is a villain that does have a weakness, with the constant abuse of being the false Obi-Wan Kenobi, but the last encounter is a standout in my opinion. But when the creators have a different idea like this, it makes him more an interesting character, which is why I have been interested in watching the show. Doctor Who, you need to do it this way. You need to do something with your returning characters. Stop making them be less generic, because it's not going to work. We need interesting. You need to be like Maul. He'll be also hunted by the Empire, which gives Maul the jump he needs to become an interesting character. And he's not going to become a goodie. He's still going to be a villain, which is very important. The police force is epic. Captain Brander Lawson, voiced by Wagner Moura, and Jushi's voiced by Richard Ayoade, making his Star Wars turn after the Mandalorian. It's good to see a comic but serious crime fighting duo, and there will be a fourth more, so it does look interesting. I'm glad that they're also going to get the prequel comics to shine, which I'll talk about very soon. After what happened to Nero, which was undeserved, I do worry for the face, especially if it's small. Don't forget, like Nero, Brander has a son, Riley Lawson, voiced by Charlie Bushnell from Percy Jackson. So that will be interesting to see. And that was written by Matt Mitchell, who is also in charge of this, so it's best to have your concerns. We don't see much, but Rootcast makes a cameo appearance in the trailer, voiced by animation star Vanessa Marshall, who voiced Hero Syndulla. She isn't the only Rebel star. Steve Blum will be appearing in 3 projects this year, but unlike the other 2 where he's playing Zeb, he will be voicing new character Icarus. The Inquisitors are back, and we have confirmed now Marok, voiced by A.G. Lucasfilm, in the show, but there is someone else. The 11th brother, voiced by Clancy Brown in Tales of, who was described by Ahsoka Tano in a surprise move, and he's back. I can assume they're after Maul since he's a Force user, which Matt has stated, not just a Jedi, as they're on the orders of the Emperor to hunt down Maul. And the trailer has hit at another speech of Marok. He is a good fighter, but he never gets to develop like say on the 7th from Agatha All Along. But that might be something I will discuss at some point in this season. Leigh, you are teasing again. Yes, I do like to tease. What's to come, my friends? TK Troopers will be back, which were introduced back in the Bad Batch in 2021. And how they are focused on Maul is going to be interesting. Other cast members confirmed: Stevenson as Mark Grimm, the Pike Syndicate leader, David C. Collins as Spyro, and Christian Hollis as Luke Warrior. Criminals are a big part here, and will be competition to Maul and Captain Lawson. There will be the Pike Syndicate, who have made countless appearances in this decade, and it's good to see them. There will be more characters who are crime lords and heads of the syndicates. There is potential when they may be seen with these guys and Maul and his allies, which include Brookcast, Amanda, and two Sabaks, which excites me in a way, a villain showdown. I want to comment the animation, as this looks exciting, but it's staying true to what the style of animation is. Let's talk budget, episode length, and writing. There will be 10 episodes, which does feel like less time to flesh out characters, which is the problem Doctor Who currently has, or could continue to have, but that's for a later date. However, the good news is that there won't be standalone stories, which will give it a great chance of doing well, which is a relief. Am I thinking it could work for Doctor Who Netflix? Maybe I'm drawn to it. Another key thing is how it will end, and I'm hoping it ends a bad run of finales we had with Skeleton Crew, which did have good moments, and Doctor Who has a massive chance. So I have high hopes for this show to end this run of bad finales. But this is written by the man who avoided the finale catastrophe last year with his finale by Devon when it mattered. Yes, Matt's Tales of the Underworld. This is what I mean by Ryan. And with Brad Raw of the Bad Batch fame involved, it's going to give it an advantage when it comes to good writing, because I trust these guys. Maul's show is set after the Bad Batch, so it kind of shows how life has been, but it will be a different genre, but mixed with the character work from the previous show, which is good. For example, Royce Hemlock and Amber Rampart set the bar for Fenway. So this is what excites me, and what excites me especially for the show and the comic prequel series coming with it. I asked you guys on social media what you loved about Maul, and you did not disappoint. Here are some of your comments. At 15 Chance replied with, I like the almost mere sense of treasure to him. He keeps trying to become an important player, but because he was brought back along after he actually saw his son, we know he can't succeed, and he's doomed to forever almost married. At Book of Jingle replied with, he's a great villain, it's good to have him back. At S Centralized retweeted, I thought Maul was alright, pretty cool until I read this book. Remarkable stuff, can't recommend enough. All-time Star Wars book. The book he shared on social media was Starfall Shadowhunter. So, honestly, I'm with him. I would recommend that book. I haven't read it, but I still would recommend it if you're a Maul fan. Thank you for getting in touch. If you have any questions on social media, or if you want answers to any of my questions I ask, please respond, as I love hearing your opinions. I want to use this opportunity to say that extended universe is very important, and I do recommend reading these things, or playing games like The Rise of Skywalker Lego game. I played that, it's quite interesting. I do have plans for content on extended media, so stay tuned. I want to finish off the Maul stuff with one of my favourite Maul moments. You see him in Terrifying Tales. It's a good mini story. Sam voicing Maul again, and it sets up the story arc for the show with one of the items where Maul and General Grievous are fighting over to bring back to Darth Sidious. It's hilarious, but you also feel sorry for the villains being disposed for the lovely or bad Emperor Palpatine. Which character are you excited for in Maul Shadow Lord? Comment down below or at First22 on social media. I would love to see who you are hyped for in the latest adventures of Maul. If you want to see more content or episodes or reviews for Maul Shadow Lord or Star Wars in general, like this episode and click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you are up to date as it's Star Wars fever in the next few months. Let's finish off with some announcements. The King, Dave Filoni, will be the new head executive producer and has clear control of Lucasfilm and all the projects. And by the way, that clickbait was not cool, as Andor has been praised by Dave Filoni himself. Good man, Dave. But come on, that article is out of line. Arete said Abzuti, it's a calumny, journalist Gillette Press, civil play, merci beaucoup. Dave has joined Lucas project, and he has done brilliantly. I do have some concerns about some of his Ahsoka characters, but there's a chance those concerns can be fixed, and I'll explain more later on this year. He won't be doing all this alone. Co-executive producer Lin Brennan will oversee executive duties, and I want to give a huge shout to the wonderful Molly Damon for sharing that Lin started in 1999 and has been in company longer than Dave has. So please be aware about women behind the scenes, as I've shown in a few of my previous episodes, more specifically the International Women's Day episode from last year, where I talked about multiple women behind the scenes. Congratulations to both Dave and Llewyn. Huge shout out to Kathleen Kennedy for keeping this show running as Lucasfilm president since 2012 to this year. Good luck with your future endeavours, Kathleen. I want to make a few announcements. There will be quite a bit of more content on the podcast over the coming months, so if you're a big fan of Maul, stay tuned. I have something unusual planned. Think of it as a spin-off to an ongoing feature on the podcast, but you'll still love it. I want to give a lot of love to the Star Wars podcasters out there. Since it's Star Wars Podcast Day, you have done fantastic work, and I want to give you a round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next episode in a weekend double bill, Clone Force 99 takes centre stage as I will be serving our little clones with a lead twist where I will be roasting popular villains. Also the day after, Mandalore and Grogu begins again as I'll discuss the new trailer. Thank you for listening. Have a happy Star Wars Podcast Day. I will see you next time. Goodbye, and may the Force be with you all.